All right. Welcome, everyone, to episode number 45 of Talking Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott. His name is Caden Holmes, and we are going to be joined today not only by Cody Peebler, who is already here on with us, who's been on the show many times, but also by Caden's brother, Jonathan, who is going to be on in just a few minutes. He's a band director, so we'll give him a little bit of grace on running late because Caden, I wouldn't want to be a band director, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a little busy to say the least.
Yeah, this Clyde Hare just said in the comments, DJ Wagner with no explanation attached to it. But yeah, I mean, what DJ Wagner? I mean, that's about all we can say.
What a
Kentucky
way
basketball right now. So
yeah, what a way to start the show. DJ Wagner. I watched the McDonald's All-American highlights. I didn't watch the game. I honestly forgot it was happening.
Yeah.
But I watched the highlights, and he hit 2 clutch free throws at the end. So if nothing else, maybe we'll have some free throw shooters next year.
I'm not ready to talk about next year's team.
Yeah, we're still.
I don't even want to really just think about it right now.
We're still talking about this year's team for sure, and that's part of the reason why we wanted to have Cody and Jonathan on tonight, is so we can just do a nice little Kentucky basketball round table here and talk about some things with that. It's MLB opening day today. Do either one of you guys care about baseball at all, or are you like me and just couldn't care less?
Cody's favorite sport.
I love baseball. I don't watch games a whole lot. I don't get an opportunity to watch a lot of games, but yeah, I love baseball.
So are you a Reds fan, or are you
I don't have a team. I just like watching baseball.
Oh, you just like baseball?
He's always sending me highlights of pitchers and hitters.
That's
like knocking it out of the park or throwing like 120 miles per hour.
That's like something about down here is like LSU baseball. I mean, it's may as well be LSU football. It's like just as big down here. But Kentucky has a good baseball team this year. We did not last year, but we're off to a strong start. I think we won 17 games in a row there, and Alabama just recently broke that streak. But
so did Kentucky keep their coach from last year?
Yeah,
I heard that they were thinking about firing him. I didn't know if they actually did.
Nick Mangione, yeah, he's still the coach. We still got him. He's still rocking it. Glad we didn't fire him because he's been kind of off and on. I mean, we'll have like a great year, and then the next year we just won't. But I'm glad we kept him for sure. I think we're ranked 18th right now, which wow. That's something. Like 10 SEC teams are ranked in the AP Top 25 in baseball right now, which is crazy. It's like just like football. But it doesn't look like we have. I mean, we're continuing to get the DJ Wagner comments here in the comments here. Marcia says boys team is decent, and she said her granddaughter is trying to get a scholarship to the SEC for softball. I'm hoping it's Kentucky. Yeah, I think Marcia mentioned that once before on the show, didn't she, Caleb?
I think she did mention that. I'm shocked Marcia didn't want her to go to Purdue.
Or I think she was looking at Indiana for a while.
Oh,
I'm sure Marcia wouldn't want her to go to Indiana. I mean, I think I remember her saying that she was looking at IU. So if you're a Purdue fan, you can't have anybody going.
Don't they absolutely hate each other?
I think so.
I know Bobby Knight didn't care for Purdue.
I mean, we don't like Purdue or Indiana here on Talking Kentucky. That's for sure. It's tough to get a scholarship in the SEC, she says. Well, I can imagine. Marcia says yes, IU, and hell no, they don't like Purdue. I mean, they don't like IU. Purdue fans don't like IU.
I think the feelings are mutual.
I'd say so.
Chuck Stearman says, I think that next year's basketball team will be good, and our football team will be going either 9-3 or 10-2. Well,
let's slow down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's slow down.
Well, we're getting into, we're in the off season now, so it's talk season, and we got to talk about, next year. Still debriefing a little bit about Kentucky basketball from this year, but it was just Kentucky football's pro day last week, and we had some Mark Stoops sort of comments we're going to get into. But I mean, just on the surface level with football, we got to play Georgia and Alabama next year. We got to play both of them, and so I mean, there's 2 losses, right? Then we got to play Vanderbilt too, Cody. So I mean, that's 3 losses right there.
Vandy's winning the title next year.
Yeah, Vandy's going to win it all.
Now.
You called it. Have you been on the show since Vanderbilt beat us in football?
I think you guys called me.
That would make sense. We did call you.
You called me, but I haven't been on the show. But no.
Hey, Jonathan Holmes is rolling in here with the is that a Shaedon
is that
Sharp background?
is that Shane Sharp? That's Cody's favorite player.
Coming in hot with the Shaedon Sharp background. What an
That's the
entrance.
MVP of the 2023 tournament right there.
Woo!
That's right. Well, if that is any indicator about how tonight's going to go, then yeah.
That's my hero right there.
Is that a phone beside him that says Kentucky or something?
Oh yeah, it says Kentucky, and then it says committed. If you read the circle around his head, it says fully committed or something.
Fully? That's strong language there.
He's
committed to sitting on the bench. That's for sure.
Yeah, it says Kentucky committed. There you go.
Well. Sums it up right there.
I guess his words didn't mean much after all. Clyde's not too happy about it.
Well, on that note, why don't we talk some Kentucky basketball? I mean, what better way to open up like a Kentucky basketball bitch fest than with Shaedon Sharp? I mean, I think that's the perfect sort of segue here. So, Kate and I kind of gave our breakdown of the season last week. We kind of gave our little statements of everything, of kind of our outlook on things last week. So I just wanted to go around, just kind of give a little opening statement, venting more or less of your thoughts overall on the year. So we can start with you, Cody. What, just, unfiltered, just let us hear where you think Kentucky basketball is right now.
I mean, my expectations weren't considerably high going into the tournament. I mean, I was obviously way more optimistic than most people, but I mean, it's pretty much how I expected it to go. I pretty much knew that we were probably going to lose in the first or second round.
Did you watch the Kansas State game?
The Kentucky and Kansas State?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I thought you weren't watching it. I thought that's.
I watched. Well, I didn't watch the whole thing. I think I watched a little. I think I texted you that I wasn't watching, and then I think in the second half I watched, I shouldn't have, but I did. But no,
you watched the worst half.
I did. Yeah, it was great. I don't really know what we do going forward. I mean, you can't fire Coach Cal. I guess I'm assuming he's going to be back there next year. He's already missed out on all the big jobs, so I mean, it is what it is. He's not going to change, so let's just hope that our incoming guys carry the whole load. So that's all we can hope for.
And Jonathan, what are your thoughts on just a quick little opening statement?
Okay, well, the reason I have my Shaedon Sharp background here is because I think that situation kind of foreshadows our big issues that we have as a program. It's that we have all these behind the scenes kind of things going on that have kind of created an environment where these kind of, I think, seasons are more likely to kind of occur. Like I support Cal. I wanted him to be our coach when they hired him, but I think one of the things I have to do whenever I'm teaching my band students, when something's not working, you got to do something different. And right now, shit ain't working. We got to be doing something different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
we've had these multiple seasons, multiple players that have these mysterious injuries where they just don't play. We've had multiple players that have committed and they're supposed to be coming here, and then something happens where they arrive on campus and then they go straight to the NBA. That's happened with multiple players for multiple different reasons. I just feel like this stuff's going to keep on happening until something fundamentally changes. And I feel like that starts at the top. That starts with Mitch Barnhart, and then it goes to Cal, and then I think those two issues have to somehow get resolved.
Do you think NIL plays a part in any of this?
I definitely do.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think it does on some level. We have not figured that out. I don't think it takes a genius to discover that. But
No, but what's frustrating for me is we should be able to figure out better than anybody. I mean, think about all the egos that Cal had to deal with, especially his first 4 or 5 years when we had the best of the best of the best coming in, and he found a way to make it work then. So I don't understand why right now we're not doing that.
yeah, Mark Stoops had a comment on KSR today. He said, "If you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less." So I thought that summed it up. And Matt Jones said that could apply to a lot of things, and he said, "Yep." So I think we all knew he's talking about Kentucky basketball there. But Caden and I graded the season last week. I think Caden, you gave him what, a C plus, C minus?
Yeah, and then you talked me out of it. I ended up giving him a C minus.
Okay. Well, I gave him a D plus. And we could sort of, you can go back and listen to that episode for a rationale behind those. But I wanted to get Cody, you and Jonathan's, if you had to give a grade for not just the regular season, but for the season as a whole, what would it be?
I'd give it a D.
D minus.
A D and a D minus. Now, why is that? What's the rationale behind the D versus the D minus?
Because
I feel like it's a D minus too, honestly.
Okay, two D minuses. So Cody will start.
If we didn't make the tournament, would it have been an F?
Yeah, 100%.
Based on what round we get in, is that our grade?
No, my reasoning is because we were just so awful, literally all season long. Like we were terrible. Like and by the time that we turned it around, it was, in my opinion, it was too late. Yeah, it was good enough to get in the tournament, but we were awful. I mean, we had no team chemistry. They didn't know which lineups to play. We didn't know who was going to play on what day. Apparently, someone punched Oscar. I don't know, but
I completely agree. But hey, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. At least we're not North Carolina.
That is true.
They were number one, and then they didn't make the tournament.
But I mean,
it could have been worse. But
we've also
made
had
the tournament
situations like that too, because we won the title and then we went to the NIT and lost the first round. So, I mean, we've had it done to us. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's, but
you're speaking Marsh's language.
Cool.
Marsh says, I like you, Cody. Right on. And Josh Hart says D, dang near an F. Jonathan, why do you think it's D minus?
I just think I'm having a really hard time getting excited to watch games where I feel like we're just watching basically the. Sorry, I'm being distracted. I'm looking at my picture and it looks like I'm bald on top for some reason. I don't know what's going on here. But it's really hard to get exciting. Kentucky basketball is supposed to be exciting, even when we are not as good as we usually are. It's supposed to be exciting. And whenever I'm hearing like that there's crap going on behind the scenes, the coaches aren't getting along, players are quitting on the team and not choosing to play when they're on a scholarship or they're getting a lot of money in NIL and this and that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's really a failing grade whenever you're supposed to be as good as what we are. And I'm concerned that it's not going to change. I don't have any reason to believe that it's going to get better next year or the year after that. I mean, like what's gonna happen right now going forward that's going to establish a new culture? Because I think that's our big issue right now is our culture's kind of went down the tubes a little bit in the last several years.
Well, that's exactly right. And Marcia says, why don't you guys just say it's the coach with an average team that he could not coach? And that's what I'm getting to. Is this next question here? Do we think that the Kansas State game was actually Cal's fault? I actually don't think that it is necessarily. I don't think that there's really anything that we could have done differently in the Kansas State game. I mean, Antonio Reeves went 0 for 14, and we didn't play well for the most part. But at the same time, we should have had a better regular season. We should have had a better seed, and we shouldn't have had to play Kansas State in the second round. So that's my opinion. But Caden, I'll start with you. Do you think that the Kansas State game was Cal's fault?
Well, I think every other year before, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years, we would have been ecstatic to play Kansas State in any round because used to playing Kansas State wasn't really a big deal. Like playing Kansas State, think about the other teams we would have had to play too. Our path to the Final Four would have been simple, and it should have been. But you're right. The season that we had, I just didn't expect anything else because we kind of played how we were playing the last half of the season. But at the end of the day, I do think it's on Cal because
you do think the
the
Kansas State game was Cal's. I mean, I'm just talking about like as an isolated game, like his coaching in that game. Could he have done anything different from a coaching standpoint in that game?
I think when he saw that Reeves was going 0 for 20, maybe we should have tried something different. But
yeah, I mean, sure, just to try to get him an open, shot like a floater or something like that. Just try to get him, see the ball go in the hoop. Like maybe that's all he needed to get him going. Maybe just get him to the line, drop a play so where he can go get fouled and go, hit a couple free throws or something, get him to the line. One thing he could have done is that Marsha says in the comments here, we could have played a zone at the end to stop Marquise. Yeah, we could have played a zone, but at this point, I kind of write that off as like Cal's just not he's not going to do it anymore. So why do we even expect it at this point? Kind of thing. But Cody, what do you think? Do you think Kansas State game was his fault?
Yeah, I do, because in this, and it's it goes back to a bigger picture. The results of everything that he's allowed to happen into our program, as far as whatever toxic things were going on, Severe Wheeler saying that he's able to be there and be able to play, he's available, but for whatever reason he doesn't play. I mean, I think that specifically just not making an adjustment, not like Jonathan say, forcing players, like, you're on scholarship, dude. You committed to being here. We expect you to play. If you're able to play, then we need you. And
right.
Allowing people to, even if he really didn't quit on the team, was an injury, whatever, but allowing that, but my point is, I think that Wheeler could have had an impact on the game in a way that could have benefited us. As far as like his driving ability, just to kind of switch things up, even if it was 5 minutes. I mean, what we were doing, like Caden said, what we were doing wasn't working. Reeves went for a bazillion, and so we didn't really have an opportunity to change things up because we were so limited on either A, Reeves, or B, Case and Wallace doing something crazy, and neither one of those were particularly successful.
Right, Jonathan, what about you?
Somebody told me a long time ago, we were having some things going on in our band program with just some different parents and things like that, and somebody told me that whatever happens, whether it's good or bad, ultimately it's my job. It reflects back on me as to whether or not it goes well or not. So that means when things go good,
you're making the big bucks.
Yeah, right.
Like Cal's making the big bucks.
You're making as much as Cal, yeah.
When things go well, sometimes that means the person in charge is getting some of that recognition, but that especially means when something goes bad, it's all on that person's shoulders. And when you have as much money to toss around as what our basketball program has, when you factor in the fact that we have extra scholarships that are available that aren't being used, that is a problem. That is a Cal problem that he has the ability to fix right now. And for years, he's elected to not use that money or those scholarships that he's had. So in my mind, as much as I want to say, because I get frustrated when people say it's my fault when something goes bad and I didn't have anything to do with it. At the end of the day, it's the coach's responsibility, and he is the one getting paid the big bucks in this case. So I just think this is a Cal fundamental issue that is continuing to plague him and also now our program. And but what I don't understand is, why is it just now becoming such a major issue? Why wasn't it an issue in the first several Cal years? It's just now kind of hitting the fan.
Yeah, well, I think it's because basketball is changing, and honestly, speaking of the early Cal years, I think this Kansas State game reminded me of the Devin Downey game in Cal's very first year against South Carolina when that kid just totally went off on us and we couldn't stop him. He was just this short kid going off on us. But I think part of it is, and that gets me into this next thing here is why can't we shoot the basketball? Like why do shooters come here that are great, and then they all of a sudden can't shoot? And I can't watch the McDonald's All-American game and see all these guys making these shots and everything, DJ Wagner making clutch shots, and then think they're going to come to Kentucky and be able to do it when we've seen repeatedly that these guys come to Kentucky and just forget how to play basketball. It seems like it's so frustrating, and I don't know how to explain it, but I wanted to see if you all could. So.
Well, before I answer that, Clyde brought something up. If you're depending on a Rhode Island and Illinois State transfer to carry you, you're not a good basketball team. And Matt Jones said something like this last year, and it kind of irritated me because he was talking about Davion Mintz. And
he said that Davion Mintz can't be your best player, right? Or so he said something like that, I think.
My thing is, like, he was. So does it matter that you have the number one recruit in the country or whoever we had? Like, Davion Mintz was playing better than anyone on the team. And so you can't say, well, we're just not very good because he's our best player. I don't think going to Rhode Island or Illinois State means you're a bad player. I think we play our best players. And at the end of this season, it just so happened Jacob Toppin and Reeves just so happened to be them. But
yeah,
that's a side rant. But sorry, what was the question?
Why can we not shoot the basketball was the question.
Because they're in their own head. I think about myself as a trumpet player, and I think about different times in my life where I have just been performing at 30, 40% of what I should have been. And it was all because I'm in my own head, whether that's external circumstances or my own issues or whatever. So I think it's definitely related. And I think it's so obvious that they're in their own head whenever these guys go to the free throw line and shoot like 2 for 20 from the free throw line. Because they're so tense, they're not loose, they're overthinking. Yeah.
Marshall brings up a good point. You don't have to have the number one recruit to be good. Yeah. Why are all these other teams, like Tom Izzo at Michigan State, for example, he consistently has good basketball teams, but he hardly has any players coming out of high school that you can name. Like, they never get any elite talent. He's just a good coach. He just knows how to coach. And he's won titles. So why? Yeah, when we say Cal can't coach, I think we have a pretty good rationale because he's got all these great players, and he can't, he can't piece them together into a coherent team from a basketball standpoint, and then maybe from some of the stuff that we've seen this year from like a emotional standpoint either. There's a lot of sort of locker room things going on too, and that also falls on the coach's shoulders ultimately.
But why doesn't he realize that issue and hire his way out of that issue, that problem? Like, that's what I don't get.
I think that's what he's trying to do because, in his conversations with Mitch, at least recently, apparently he's wanted to hire an offensive and defensive coordinator for a basketball team, offensive and defensive coordinator, in addition to the guys they already have like Chin and Orlando Antigua and stuff. Well, then what would Cal do?
It's vastly bigger than the team.
I know, yeah. And then you got, of course, Tyler Ulis and everything. Is it which?
Make him the offensive coordinator.
Well, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I might be crazy for saying this, but I don't think we would have made the tournament if Tyler Ulis hadn't come on the staff in January.
That's a really good point.
I think it genuinely made a difference because that's when things started to kind of turn around. Obviously, was when Tyler came. So,
well, if you want an offensive and defensive coordinator, why not Tyler Ulis and Rajon Rondo?
Rajon Rondo, yeah, there we go.
That's true.
The grad assistants.
If he's not going to pay for him, then just have him come back to school for a year and just see if it works. And then if it goes like, hey, this actually worked, we had them both doing this position, But I'm saying this is probably his last year, but anyway, or next year.
Well, I want to go around here, and we already know about some of these guys. Actually, breaking news right before the show: Brennan Canada is deciding to come back next year. In case any of you guys were, waiting with anticipation to hear about that, I'm sure it's going to make a heck of a difference.
Does he get to keep the scholarship?
Does he have? Is he on scholarship?
Yeah, he is.
Is that concerning that Brennan Canada is coming back for another year? Because my first thought was, why is Brennan Canada coming back for another year of eligibility unless he's going to play?
Did you guys? Okay, so Toppin and Lance Ware did a podcast of. They did it with some like a former Kansas player and some other dude.
They were talking about Coach Cal, weren't they?
And they were talking about Coach Cal. And then they got to talking about like way practices are structured, and they got to talking about Brandon Canada. They were talking about him. They both said like he's legitimately good. Like when we have those stretches where their point guards were down and out of commission, he was their practice point guard. Like that's how they ran practice. Like he was legitimately like making plays and like keeping that team together. Like,
wait, is he a guard or is he a forward?
I thought it was a guard.
Well, Jacob Toppin was running point at one point, so I guess it really doesn't matter.
But I'm just saying, like during their practices and when they were doing their main scrimmages, like with the starters, they would put him with the starters and have him run point. So he must be legitimately decent.
Well, we could have put him in the Kansas State game, or against St. Peter's last year, anyway. But I want to go around.
Shaedon Sharp.
Yeah, or Shaedon Sharp. Yeah. I wanted to go around the roster here, and again, we already know some of these guys are gone, but I want to do a quick go around and say gone or back for some of these guys. Now, Caden and I did this last week, but maybe some of them might change. I know a couple of my opinions are going to change after hearing some things, but we'll just kind of go a little square here. We'll go me, Caden, Cody, and Jonathan here. So Jacob Toppin, I'm going to go gone. CJ Frederick, I'll go back still on him.
I'm going to say gone.
I think he's done playing basketball.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a coach somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to say gone too.
Severe Wheeler, we already know, was gone. So we're
going to Cody say he's going to Kansas State.
Okay, yeah. So
That's the rumor.
Let's talk about that.
That's a Kevin Durant move right there.
Because I've heard about that. I've heard that Kansas State's. I've also heard Texas. I've heard there's a chance that both him and Damian end up at Texas together. Or that maybe they're just going to end up at the same school regardless. But if it's Kansas State, I mean, I could see him going to Kansas State. I could see him lighting it up there for that coach. I mean, just like every other player that's transferred from Kentucky and gone somewhere else, UCLA or whatever. I mean, apparently I've heard Kansas State is the rumor as well. Adu Thiero, back.
He's a good player.
He is a good player. He's going to make a big impact on college basketball, Cal said one day.
I think so too.
I don't see you forgetting about that guy.
I said that from day one.
The other thing that frustrated me about the Kansas State game, looking back on it, is Thiero didn't come in until like the last minute of that game. Like he didn't play at all that whole game.
That's true.
And, whatever. But like Reeves
like Damian Collins against St. Peter's.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. I had the same feeling about that coming into this year.
I think a lot of the roster issues during games is related to Cal making certain promises to certain players, and I think we've seen that in a lot of seasons, and I think that's also causing chemistry issues. That's what I think.
Oh, that's like spot on. Yeah, like no doubt. Damian Collins. I'll go gone. I'll go gone for him.
He's gone.
Which is sad.
Yeah. Antonio Reeves. Gone. I was gonna say back, but I'm gonna say gone now.
I'll say back.
He's coming back.
I'm going to say gone.
Cody's so sure.
Grant Derbyshire. Well, sure, we'll say it. Back.
Back.
Oh, he's back.
Back.
Oh yeah, he's got a big NIL deal. He's coming back.
They have to have a water boy.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. They do. Brennan Canada, we've already discussed this. He's coming back for sure. Announced today. Walker Horn he's the other water boy. So back.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He's the assistant. He's the backup water boy. But okay. Casey Wallace gone.
Way gone.
Gone.
He's not even on campus anymore.
yeah. He left like in the last minutes of the Kansas State game.
as soon as they flew back, he packed his bags. He's already gone.
Yeah.
Did you all catch him laugh or smile at the very end of that game?
I didn't see that, but I heard you say that. Did he really?
He definitely did.
I did see that.
I'll have to go back
Made me
and
sad.
watch.
I
Man,
feel like he's a good kid.
I think what's happening with these guys now is like their agent, especially with NIL and everything. Like I think their agents are kind of controlling what they do more. Like nobody just comes to Kentucky anymore because it's Kentucky and they've grown up wanting to play for Kentucky. Now it's like, okay, what school is the best path for you to go to the NBA? And for Shaedon Sharp, that was to come to Kentucky and sit on the bench. And that's what happened. And that's kind of what started all of this crap with Wheeler and everything happening. And us not getting Sky Clark, some of these other guys that ended up not coming here because they thought Shaedon was going to be here this year, and he wasn't. So he was just taking up a roster spot. So,
yeah. NIL is ruining everything, and there is no going back, unfortunately.
Shaedon Sharp.
I know that's unpopular opinion, but
Shaedon Sharp took that fat NIL deal, got his Porsche, and he's like, nah, I'm good. I got money in the pocket.
Ryan Courtney brings up a good point. He said Reed Shepherd is an exception. Now, I can see that. I think Reed probably wants to come to Kentucky because it's Kentucky and because his dad's Jeff Shepherd. I mean, you guys disagree?
No, I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too. I think so. I mean, was he really seriously considering anywhere else? I mean, he was considering like Louisville and I mean, he wasn't like one of these guys that's like considering North Carolina, Kansas, Duke, all these schools, right? I mean, he just wasn't that kind of guy. But anyway, finishing out the roster here, Chris Livingston. He was somebody that last week I said was back. This week I'm going to say he's gone.
I'm going to say gone because his agent's in his ear.
Yep.
He gone.
He's gone. You think he's going to go pro, though? You think he's going to make an NBA team?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's probably going to go pro. People are saying that he's projected first round, but I just do not. I do not see that. What are they looking for? Like, how is Oscar, like, not going to make a roster, but Chris Livingston is a first round pick? I mean, that's what people are saying. Like, I don't get it. I know that the game's different in the NBA, but who couldn't use a dude that averages a double-double? I don't understand that.
Oscar's going to find his way on a team. I mean, Nick Richards found a spot. I mean, he'll Oscar will find a spot. I mean, somebody will give him like a 10-day 2-way contract or whatever, and then he'll play himself in the NBA.
I hope he does.
Yeah, the NBA is different these days. AKA, they can just like travel whenever they want, and it's not called. That's how the NBA is different.
Yeah, that's right. That clip you sent me earlier, Caden. Kareem Watkins, back, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sounds good to me.
Ugana Onyenso is already announced that he's going to be back.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Oscar Sheboy, the big one. I'll go gone.
I'll go gone, but I really don't know where he's going to go. But I'll stick with gone, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
Gone.
Lance Ware. Shaedon Sharp and Lance Ware. Oh gosh. Gone. He's gonna transfer somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, he'll transfer. He's a junior. He'll transfer.
I didn't mean to do that. I don't know where.
I think he's back.
So he's back.
Yeah, I think he has like from what I understand, he has like a girlfriend that also goes to Kentucky or Eastern or something like that.
Well,
I think he's back, but he's not one. I'm not one of his biggest fans.
yeah, I don't think any of us are, but yeah, I can agree with that. Ryan Courtney, we can have all this talent, but Cal won't change his bad habits. We will be in the same spot we are, hands down. Which I don't know if you guys saw this, but I hope you haven't because I want to see your all genuine reaction. Aaron Bradshaw, right? How tall is he?
He's 7 foot.
7'1" or something like that.
7'1". Aaron Bradshaw, you ready for this? Said Cal told him he's going to play him at the 3.
Does that mean Oscar's back?
I believe that he said that. I believe it, unfortunately.
I have no doubt that Cal said that. But man, 7'1" at the 3. That's what we're going with.
Does that mean Justin Edwards running point?
Yeah, are we going to have a 10-footer? Are we going to have a Goliath at center?
Zach Edey?
Yeah, we're going to have Zach Edey. Is he going to transfer? He's not actually transferring, is he? Was that
he's not.
That was a
joke.
That was a joke.
Okay, cool. Who wouldn't want Zach Edey though? I mean,
the first day of practice, he's going to go to take a shot, and Cal's going to be like, nah, "You're in the wrong spot, bud." But Cal park yourself a little bit closer to the rim.
I mean, Cal played Chris Livingston at the 3 a lot this year. That's the problem. And then he finally started playing him at the 4, right? The roster, or like the starting lineup all season, should have been Kaysen at the point, Reeves at the 2, Frederick at the 3, Toppin at the 4, or Chris at the 4, and then Oscar at the 5, right? I mean, that's the best lineup. But I don't even remember what lineup we were playing. It took forever to not start Severe, which that goes back to the promises thing, Jonathan. It's like he probably promised Severe a lot of playing time for him to come back last year and didn't want to piss him off. So he was just like delaying the inevitable of pissing them off, which apparently he did because, I mean, let's talk about that. Like the whole thing with the senior night thing. I mean, he didn't go through senior day. Didn't even come to the freaking game. Like,
oh yeah, didn't Ellen stand in his place or something?
Yeah, she did. So you're telling me that we couldn't figure out a way to get like a severe? First of all, they said that it was because of his surgery. So you're telling me that he had to have that surgery during senior night, for one. That there wasn't any other time he could do it. And then that none of his family could come to the game in his place, and he couldn't send some kind of video. I mean, we had Mark Pope from BYU send a video for that game. So we couldn't have Severe Wheeler send a video. I mean, something went right there. So
he's probably hanging out at home in Georgia.
Probably
his family or something.
Yeah, I think this is part of the issue I have with all the culture stuff. Like,
they're not honest.
This kind of thing has happened so many times. I mean, I think something like this happened with Jared Vanderbilt. Ashton Hagans went through all this mess at the end of the season. And I really think it's got to do with agents and them promising playing time and then them sucking and then no consequences. And
Ryan Courtney brings up a good question here. Top 3 coaches you all would pick to have outside of Cal and why? This is something we've talked about briefly on here before. But, I mean, my number one, let's go around and kind of give our top 3. My number 1 would be Jay Wright for obvious reasons. My 2 would probably be Billy Donovan, honestly. And then my 3rd would be either Scott Drew or Brad Stevens. I mean, if I got to pick now, do I think any of those guys will actually come? No, but if you're asking me like my top 3 that I would pick, that would be it for me. What about you, Caden?
If age didn't have a factor, I'd say number 1 Jay Wright, number 2 Rick Barnes, number 3 Brad Stevens.
Rick Barnes. I mean, that's man.
Yeah, but he's like 70 by now, isn't he?
I hate that he coaches at Tennessee because I like him. Cody, what do you think?
My number 1 would probably be Brad Stevens, and like Caden, my second would be Rick Barnes. I don't really know who my third would be. Take your pick of.
What about your Murray guy that's at LSU right now?
If he does well at LSU, I think that he could be considered because he is pretty young.
Yeah,
he's pretty young.
Man, yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to see if he can find some success at LSU. But I guess I'd put him on there. Why not? I don't know.
My 1 would be Brad Stevens. My 2 would be Jay Wright. My 3 would be Rick Barnes. But he's getting on up there in age, I think, right? So,
hey, I'd put Bruce Pearl on there too. Would you guys want to hire? So, like, let's.
Hey, speaking of Bruce Pearl,
I just want to see him smash somebody, right?
Talking smashed, yeah.
90 to 85, our exclusive post-game interview with Bruce Pearl is presented by Full Moon Barbecue, best little pork house in Alabama. Find your nearest location or view their catering menu at fullmoonbbq.com. I know there's no moral victories.
No.
But your ball club played its heart out tonight, Bruce.
Yep, we played well. We played hard. We should have won the game. Very, very disappointing. Obviously they made some plays. We had a hard time staying in front of them at the end of the day. I'm just sick and tired of our guys getting smashed down there. Smashed!
I love that so much. I love that so much.
I heard Bruce Pearl, so I had to clip that. You're muted, Coleman.
I said, yeah, anytime we talk about Bruce Pearl, I mean, we got to throw that up there. And we talked about Devin Downey of South Carolina earlier.
SEC doormat, South Carolina. One fan held.
The please go to Texas sign at the end of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
People on podcast can't see that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so those would probably be our top. I mean, what was I going to say? I think you dude that just got hired, Chris Beard. Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss just hired him. Is his name too tainted now for you to come to Kentucky?
I don't even know what the actual story is about that. I heard all the rumors, but I heard that he didn't do it, and I heard that he did, and I heard that his wife also did. So I don't know.
He definitely did it. I mean, he definitely did.
He definitely did do it.
Yeah, it's fact. Like, it's on the police report.
Didn't his wife admit to playing a part in it too, or something?
His wife said that he didn't. Apparently, he got like choked her or something, and his wife said that didn't happen or something.
Well, apparently she had some marks on her. So, like, I mean, something happened, but they didn't, without her saying that he, like, going to like court saying that he did it, there was gonna be no case. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, he definitely beat the hell out of her. So, I mean, that's fact.
But would you not bring? I mean, is he out of the question now, or could you see him?
Not for me. That's not my business. What he does outside the court, I mean.
But Mitch Barnhart ain't gonna hire him, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, but like if somebody other than Mitch is here, you know.
I can't think of anybody that I think is just like that's the one person. Like,
no,
when Cal was hired the last time, like, I felt like it was so obvious that there was nobody else. Like, if he doesn't get it, we're screwed, kind of thing. Like, I can't really think of anybody that I think would be the perfect fit that would actually take it.
Yeah. Well, what about I mean, there once upon a time I thought about Nate Oates, but do you want it? I mean, I've kind of grown to not like him, but I mean, he's good enough coach, though. I think.
I still don't feel like he's proven him. I mean, I know they did well, but like, he's not I want somebody that's won a dang championship.
What about Bill Self?
I mean, yeah, but he'd never come. Would he?
What's going on with
I don't
him?
know. Oh yeah, he's like sick or something, right? He missed the whole tournament.
Is
He
there?
missed the
heart
Big
attack.
12 tournament. Did he have a
does
heart
anybody
attack?
know what
He did. He did have a heart attack. I don't know why Kansas posted and said that he didn't, but he definitely had a heart attack.
happened?
Cody's got all the sources.
He
Says
does.
Vanderbilt's going to win the national championship, and
I just pay
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
I'm honestly a nerd.
hey, if Severe goes to Kansas State, we're gonna have to give Cody a lot of credit.
Hey, if Duke's assistant coach does really well, would you consider hiring him?
Assistant coach, or are you talking about John Shire?
Shire.
Yeah, okay.
I
I don't-
want to hear Cody's take.
I don't like him, man. I don't know. It's just maybe because he coaches Duke, but
Absolutely not. That guy's a tool, and I want nothing to do with him. He can stay at Duke. I don't care what he does. But
he does look like a tool. Yeah.
he's not gonna get a job anywhere else. I mean, unless he like has crazy success at Duke, which I don't see happening. But
I mean, everybody's going crazy that he like had the most successful year as a first-year coach in Duke history. Well, it doesn't take much because Coach K was there for like 200 years, and he had all Coach K's players this year, so he was sitting pretty.
We'll see what happens next year.
Yeah,
The
well,
issue is all the big time Hall of Fame coaches are like in their 60s and 70s now. So everyone that's doing anything right now are really young and they still haven't even won a championship. So it's hard to have one guy in mind.
Yeah, well, it's awful fun, and we keep getting beat by all those new coaches.
Yeah, and then they still don't win the championship.
question in the comments: how many assistants will be gone this year, and who do we keep? I think having Rondo and Ulis are great to have for these young players. They were both studs, playing wise, and know the game very well. Yeah, I don't think it's confirmed that Rondo's coming next year, but I think it's going to happen as a grad assistant. So having Rondo and Ulis will be good. I've heard that Shin Coleman has already got 1 foot out the door. I don't think he's coming back. I think he's gone. He wants to do a lateral move going somewhere else. KT Turner is obviously already gone. He took that like Texas something job, UT somewhere. Arlington, maybe. Was it UT Arlington? I think he took. Then I think Orlando's probably back, and I'm sure Bruiser's back too. But yeah, I think Shin Coleman's kind of got 1 foot out the door. Does that concern you that, we had like Jay Lucas that left immediately? I mean, KT Turner left for a head coaching job, so like you can kind of understand that. But these other sort of lateral moves of Shin Coleman and Jay Lucas, like, I mean, who would want to leave? I mean, why would you leave Kentucky like as just to go be in the same position somewhere else? Like that doesn't happen very often. Kentucky's a destination.
For Jay Lucas, there was some specific reason that made sense at the time. I forgot what it was, but was he from that area or something?
No.
Maybe I'm just making that up.
He straight up thought that the way that Kentucky was recruiting, they weren't gonna make it. So
maybe he just got a huge pay bump or something.
I don't think that's true either.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily true. Yeah.
Well,
I think they just wanted out. There's some deals or something behind the scenes that made going to Duke a lot more enticing than Kentucky.
Well,
we're in a position now where no matter what happens with those assistant coaches, we're not going to be excited about anybody that they bring in. Like like there was a little bit of excitement about Chin, but now it's
and getting Orlando back. I mean,
I was excited I hated when he left. I hated that.
Oh, I did too. But how important, looking back on it now, was Rod Strickland and the other dude that was here. I can't. Yeah. Like, how important were those guys? I mean, they probably were a lot of the X's and O's.
John Robick, you mean?
John Robick, and then Rod Strickland was on the staff too, right?
Yeah.
But
Jonathan
John
and I were
Robick
talking about the
especially.
other guy too. What was his name? Jonathan? Dwayne
Peavy.
But he was with the athletic department though. He wasn't with the team.
Who?
I thought. Were you talking about Dwayne Peavy?
Yeah, Peavy was
He
kind
was
of
supposed
like
to be the
a
middleman.
Yeah,
he
but
was
I
the
mean,
guy.
but his like he was with the athletic department, wasn't he? I don't think he was specifically for the team.
Right. I think all those things were like threads, and they started unraveling, and now it's like I don't necessarily think it was one person not being with the group that's changed everything, but I think it just started pieces started falling, and now it's like it's gonna. I think it's gonna take an entirely new set of people to get another kind of wave of excitement and culture going.
Oh yeah, for sure. It definitely will. I mean, it's it's hard to get excited anymore. I mean, and somebody said earlier, Justin Edwards said, "Oh, we're gonna come win a national championship." How many times have we heard that? I mean, I would almost have more respect for them if they said, "Yeah, we're just gonna come like, just do whatever, and some of us will play, some of us won't," kind of thing. It's just like we can't like get our hopes up anymore. Like I've become like apathetic to some level. I hate saying
How
that,
about
but
they say we won't lose to Vanderbilt twice? That'd be cool.
I think they could
Yeah.
bring Snoop Dogg in and some stripper poles, and people wouldn't be excited about Big Blue Madness.
Big
They
Blue
can't afford
Madness,
Snoop, man.
dude. Big Blue Madness sucks now. It's gotten bad. Like I used to love Big Blue Madness, didn't y'all? I mean, it used to be
Yeah,
like
it was
freaking Christmas to me, and now it's like I I just don't even really want to watch it. It's like it's boring now. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's just that we suck or
That
a
probably has
combination
something to
of
do with
things.
it, I'd say.
I'm sure that has something to do with it. Yeah. Well, speaking of a good coach, I think Mark Stoops is a good coach. He got pissed in his post game or no post practice press conference the other day. I'm going to read you this quote. He said, "Guys, right now, I don't know if they think they can just roll out of bed and be good or whatever, but it's not the same. We need to get back and play the way our brand was made, and that's by being tough and being physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage, being able to run the football. Grateful for what we have, but I just feel like we got a bunch of guys that are entitled and don't want to work extremely hard. They think it's going to happen or waiting for the next guy to make it happen. I'm not real pleased." And then he was continued to be asked about a couple of like, what do you think the reason is? Like, what do you think the excuses are? And he's like, I don't know. Well, whatever they are, they're bullshit. That's a good coach right there.
You know
That's
what
what I
that made
want
me
Cal
think
to
of?
say.
You know what that made me think of when you sent me that? It made me think of that bracket we did. We had that coach rant about the Mama's boys.
Oh yeah, I got a
What's
bunch
his
I
of.
was
name?
looking at that too.
I got a bunch of mom's boys right now. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Southern Illinois coach, Barry Henson or something like that.
Yep, that's the dude.
My wife could whatever.
Yeah, my wife could score more than 2 buckets on 11 shots. But I mean, I wish Cal would say stuff like that. I mean, that's obviously what's going on behind the scenes.
What
He's not saying that kind of stuff. I get that. It's
bothers
like,
me? He doesn't care. He doesn't show that he cares. Like he probably legitimately does not care. He is riding this thing out until for whatever reason. I think.
well, after next year, he gets that extra $1 million a year for the rest of his life or whatever. After this next year, which is another
I
reason
do
why
think he
he's
hates
gone.
losing. I mean,
He does,
he gets irate during those games.
Have you ever seen his like halftime? I'm not even going to call it a speech. It's not a dang speech, but like whatever you want to call his talk that he gives to players during halftime. It like I don't know. I wouldn't call it motivational, and they're not really talking about what they're going to do to change the game after halftime. It's like I don't understand the purpose of what's going on in that locker room.
You want it to be Bobby Knight style?
Yeah,
Like, the purpose of halftime
I do.
is like to give the team a break, but then also like talk about the game, right? I mean, that's what I'd be doing. It's like an extra timeout that lasts for a really long time.
It's a good thing for a basketball coach to do is talk about the game. I would think, yeah. It's like
Tyler
the
Eulis up there. He always told
Yeah.
big men to man up.
apparently
Got
Tyler
Scal's
Eulis
face one time. So
is drawing up some plays this year.
100%. I bet that's what happened.
Have you guys heard about this Dillingham, like that he
is he
might
not coming?
that he might not be coming, or might not be eligible or something
Oh, eligible. Yeah, I heard about that.
because of graduation or whatever? It sounds like a Shaedon Sharp scenario, honestly. So
Kids
I
can
mean,
just graduate when they
great.
want these
He's
days.
he's going into that Kanye school that may or may not be like a legitimate school. Or,
Oh yeah, the Kanye school.
whatever their certification. I forgot what
I'm
they
sure
call
that's
it.
Kanye school.
They have to have
I'm sure
they
that's
have to
a
have
great,
accreditation. Like a certain school has to have accreditation, and
Yep.
supposedly that this school may not have what he needs, and he's got to take a bunch of extra courses to be like academically eligible.
So it's
to
not an
graduate.
actual school. What you're saying?
That's what's what the rumor is. I don't know,
Well,
but everybody's like, "Oh, he'll be fine. He'll get it." Okay,
The
You know,
Kanye
this would be-
school does not sound like an actual school. No.
No.
I
This
mean,
would be a lot more simple if they just went to his high school for 4 years. And
from what I understand, like the school he's at, they can't like compete in games or anything. Like they're just like they can't can't compete in like tournaments or the main whatever it is in high school. So like they're kind of they can play games and stuff, but they're kind of secluded in their own thing.
getting homeschooled or something?
So if he doesn't,
No, he's like on a team and they're like a school, but like
so if he doesn't go to
And
if
pick
they
up
don't
games?
play basketball, if they don't play basketball and he doesn't go to school, then what's the
no,
Kanye
that's
school?
not what I meant. Like he's playing basketball, like
Oh, okay.
and he
But they
has an
can't play.
agent, but they can't compete in like sanctioned tournaments or.
Yeah.
Oh, so
something
they're like
that.
Oklahoma State whenever they cheated and couldn't play in the tournament.
It's kind of like North Carolina, how they didn't go to class; they just played basketball.
It'd be like
Yeah.
Or
you're not
Louisville.
eligible. You're not eligible to compete in KMEA like with John, and like you have like a marching band, you compete, you can go to other contests, but you can't like compete in like the state championship KMEA thing. That's basically what it is.
Hey, maybe Jonathan should coach our basketball team. Jonathan knows how to win championships down here with his
I don't know
band.
anything about basketball.
Well, Cal doesn't either, so you may as well give it a
Oh,
shot.
Jonathan had a pretty good jump shot back in the day.
Well, he could shoot some long twos for Cal. Then
There you
Yeah.
go.
Hey, one
What
thing I
do you-
could do that our team cannot do is hit damn free throws. Why do we miss free throws?
it's a mental thing. It's the same reason we can't shoot threes. It's a mental thing. It's got to be.
What
But
Kate
it's
says,
all-
I mean, he just gets in their
It's all
head.
free for a reason. It's free.
Yeah, there's an old story that Adolph Rupp, like, they were missing a bunch of free throws one night, and Adolph Rupp said if they kept missing free throws, he's going to make them walk back to Lexington.
Good.
And they started hitting them because they're free. Marcia says girls are better than guys at shooting free throws by all means.
I believe it.
Well, they're definitely better than Kentucky guys this year. Let's see. Why can't we shoot? What do we do about Cal? So, like, do you guys think that this is Cal's last year? Like, because I genuinely do. I think that he's probably gone after this year.
One more, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I think
going
it's
after
gone.
this year. He's gonna ride off in the sunset and take his whatever money's owed.
I don't think he's going to be doing anything with UK once he's done, though. I don't see that happening.
No, well, but that's in the lifetime contract. Is that he's like will be a lifelong ambassador for the program or something like that. And
I mean, I think it's an
Do we
option.
even-
I don't think he would have signed something saying that he had to do it. I think it's an option.
yeah. I mean, I don't even think we want. I think we just kind of want to both walk away, you know. But let's say that like this year goes terrible. I mean, I think if something happens and he were to win the national championship this year, I think he's definitely gone. I think he definitely leaves on a high note there. But what if we like miss the tournament this year?
I think
He's gone either way.
You think he's still gone? Because I know he won't want to go out like that. And I mean, we can't make him leave. So
we should fire him, bankrupt the program. If we find out halfway through the season we're not making the tournament, just fire him. Just dude, just go, leave, just go.
Yeah. So how many wins out of a 31 game regular season would you consider a successful regular season? Like that's I was kind of thinking this earlier today. Or something that we wouldn't get mad at, I guess. Because this year we won what, 20 or was it 19 in the regular season? I think it was 20.
It was over 20.
Over 20?
I'm pretty sure it was like 21 or something like that.
Did we lose like 11 or 12?
I think we lost 11 with the Vandy loss in the tournament. I think. So yeah,
22 and 12 maybe. I don't know.
Something like that. What would that number be for y'all?
I'm going to say 32.
There we go.
Next year, better win 32 games.
All right.
Oh, I'm 140 next year.
Minimum.
I'm giving up on that.
I'd say 26, 28.
I'd probably say 27 is what I would expect.
Out of 31, you want 27? I think that's reasonable.
I mean, I want 31, but
yeah,
I mean,
lose one or two. Lose like 2 or 3 during the regular season, and maybe one.
Are you talking regular season? Oh, I got you.
Yeah, just regular season. Yeah, just regular season. Well, one more thing before we take a couple calls here. What do y'all think about this Final Four? Do you like that it's all crazy, or would you rather? Because some people are kind of pissed that like so many teams that have never been in it before are in it this year. They would rather just somebody normal win it. But I kind of like it. Like if Kentucky's not going to win it, let friggin' Florida Atlantic win. That's fine with me. What do y'all think?
Agreed. UConn, Miami, Florida, Atlantic, and San Diego State. I mean, I've been saying I think the system's broken for a long time. I think ideally, there should be tournaments throughout the year, and there'd be like a point-based system, and then they can have a playoffs with the truly best teams. Imagine like a 3-game playoff with like 20 teams. I think that would be much better, but people love their March Madness. So, like you said, if Kentucky's not in it, then let's go Owls.
Yeah, let's go Owls by 90. I mean, I hate saying this, but I think UConn's going to win it all. I think it's probably going to be UConn and San Diego State in the championship, and I think UConn's going to win it all, which that means that I think in the last 24 years, they will have won 5 titles, which makes them like
how in the hell are they in the Final Four again? I cannot.
I'm telling you, they win every year where everyone else sucks.
Well,
they were so bad beginning of the year though. Like they weren't even halfway through the season. Like I guess they somehow turned it around, but I just don't get it. Something about that school. It doesn't matter.
They have a guard that's getting 40 a game. I guarantee it, like they always do.
Well,
they got a bunch of managers and scrubs playing basketball better than half the country. I just don't get it.
Well, they've only been to 6 Final Fours, and 5 of them will have been championships if they win this one. This is crazy, and they probably will. Insane. I mean, all they got to do is beat Florida Atlantic and San Diego State, and who's the other team that's in it? It's not Gonzaga.
Miami.
Oh yeah, God, it's so freaking random. Who would have guessed that? Maybe our prediction wasn't so crazy after all.
No, it wasn't.
Think attendance is going to be high at those games?
Yeah.
I
think Florida, people want to witness that thing.
Florida Atlantic travels well, man. Well, we'll take some of your calls here. 502-234-1504. We'd love to hear from you and your thoughts, and hopefully you're more optimistic about the future than us. Susie Welsh says UConn's going to be tough to beat.
I did watch one game this tournament, and they looked really good. So it does not surprise me at all.
No, it doesn't. Looks like we're getting a call from somebody here. It just says connecting. I don't know who it is, so it's going to be
Marcia.
surprised. Is it? Oh, okay. There we go. Hey, you're on with Talking Kentucky. Who's this?
It's Marsha.
Marsha, how's it going?
I had to beat the guys, Clyde and them. You know how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I like the guys you guys got on tonight. I think Jonathan, you guys are great, and I like listening to your opinions. But I'd like to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
If that's okay. Yeah.
We are too.
K-State, I watched it. Now I'm going to tell you, you can disagree, but I don't care. But actually, their point guard beat us. Oscar is not really a factor. I mean, all we got to do is double down on him, okay? Because we're not hitting. Okay, their little guard beat us. I think if Wheeler had been out there, would have been a better match. And I still think playing a little zone against Marquise would have helped at the end and slowed them down.
It definitely would have.
Yeah, I do. I think a lot of the trouble, and I'm not afraid to say it anymore, Coach has got to go. I mean, his style, I can read it every game, and it's boring, it's mechanical, it's slow, the team doesn't understand. I mean, it causes internal problems. And, of course, the NIL deals goes along with that, too. I said behind the scene, internal, mental. He mentally breaks them down. And I just don't see these freshmen coming in next year, everybody thinking they're going to win it all, because they're not. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking about a magnitude of a tournament here. Okay, if we're going to depend on freshmen and promise him, which he already has, because I've listened to him, I can't imagine, even myself, being in that position, coaching this type of team coming in next year. And having those freshmen and our players that are left sitting on the bench, I still don't think they'll see much time. He's going to go to the portal. He's going to grab what he wants to get that maybe 6-man, 7-man rotation.
Yeah.
And he'll play the freshman. And I think we'll get hurt, and I think we'll be disappointed. I don't get my expectations up on him anymore. I think he's too easy to read. It's hard to sit there and say, I don't like him. I mean, he's a great guy at the beginning. Maybe he's a good recruiter, but we don't need that. If you look at the Final Four teams, what are they? Why are they there? They're there because they're built upon.
Yeah,
Okay?
and speaking of like the big players, there's like, I was thinking about this the other day. I can't name a single player that's in the Final Four. Like, there's no star players that stand out really.
Right,
They're just good. They've just been playing well. Yeah, it's good. It's good coaching. Yeah.
Right, and we're losing players. Even his own recruits, we lose every year. Okay, even if they go into the transfer portal. So these teams that are in the Final Four should open a lot of people's eyes, because that's a magnitude of a tournament here. Okay.
Yeah.
To play against anybody. Even as a coach, if we can't beat them, those people, freshmen, whatever we get, are not going to jail. They might not even jail next year. Like I said, you got Shepard, you got Wagner. I watched them. I mean, they're showboating out there last night. I mean, besides shooting threes and stuff, and they're still freshmen. And you can tell that by the way they played. And I'm like, wait till we go to the next level, guys. We'll see how well you do. But I think Coach has a tendency to promise kids. He needs to stop it, and he doesn't need to say anything. Why tell all your story before you get out on the court? It's like,
oh, yeah. I think Kentucky's like the easiest team in the country to prepare for.
Yes.
It's predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, when I coach, that's the first thing I notice is the other team.
Yep.
And I've always watched them, and being intuitive in how they play and what they do and how my team is going to match up with them. And he's not prepared for that. Like I said, if y'all don't think the guard didn't beat us at Kansas State, he did. We didn't need, the shooters can't, or if they're not going to shoot, who cares about them? Just double. Yeah,
Kansas State and Caden and I were talking about this. Kansas State shot terribly in the first half.
Yeah, they did.
They couldn't hit
I don't
anything.
think Cason Wallace is to blame. I personally don't think just having Severe Wheeler would have won us that game. I think there were a lot of issues, like how we guarded pick and rolls, because every team that hits us with a million pick and rolls, we can't guard it. And that's what they did. And they would get that kid on Oscar, and he ended up getting to the rim or something.
Right. I mean, I didn't think they were great either watching. I mean, I'm like, beat them, you know. But then again, I know how to stop Kentucky. I felt like I knew how to stop Kentucky.
Oh,
I think every coach out there does.
Yeah, you and everybody else does for sure.
I mean, it's obvious. I think it got boring, like you said, the Big Blue Man as well. It is boring anymore. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I say he's got to get a team. He's got to get a team built on. It's like Livingston. Is he going or is he staying? If he leaves, that tells me a lot.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
I mean, he's a guy that could have a huge jump and get
huge impact.
Like Caden and John, or Cody and Jonathan. I was thinking of Terrence Jones, the leap that he had between his first and second year. Right. Like that's what Chris Livingston, could be. So
how come no one else sees this? If Livingston leaves, I mean, that tells me everything. I'm done. I mean, and if y'all think Sierra and them are going to get in, really? Do y'all really think they're going to get maybe a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean,
TJ Wagner, Sierra. Like,
no, not next year. Not next year. No, I don't think next year.
So why stay? I mean, why stay?
Well, Marshall, we'll try to get some other people in on here, but thanks as always for calling in.
Yeah, you guys were great tonight. It was nice meeting all you guys. I like who you had for a group. I had Jonathan, all you guys, Shaedon, and it was great talking to you guys and listening to you guys.
Well,
and
thank you as always for checking us out.
Oh yeah, by the way, tell your mom I said hello.
Oh, I will. Okay. I will tell my mom. Yes. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
So she brings up a really good point. So, okay. So one of the things Cal's got to do if he's going to get him to come back is he's got to say, okay, look at such and such that came back and grew and developed. When's the last player that really came back that really truly did get better? Like Miller came back, he got better. Willie Cauley came back, he got better.
PJ Washington.
Yeah, PJ Washington, but then he had the same mysterious Vanderbilt thing where he was out and didn't play for a whole bunch of games. Like, we really haven't had anybody that's came back that has been really awesome the second year. So, like,
really, the only two I can think of are probably Terrence Jones and
Quickly.
Quickly, maybe. I mean, the Twins didn't really get better. I'm just thank God that they came back,
Yeah, but here's the thing with that. They came back, and he promised them playing time, but we had Tyler Eulis sitting on the bench that could have been playing point guard, like
Devin Booker too, right? Devin Booker year?
Yeah, that was a Devin Booker year. The messed up thing about all that, what you guys are saying, Coach Cal prides himself, and he says it every year, multiple times, repeatedly. I don't promise players to come here in minutes. I don't promise them anything. But obviously, that's a lie. I mean, that's a flat out lie. I mean, you got players that are openly talking about it, openly showing their attitude on the court, off the court, quitting the team, fighting with players. That's the only thing it could be. I mean, you made promises to a player, and now, like, they feel wronged, in which I mean, whether you think so or not, but I mean, justifiably, yeah, they probably should feel kind of like, hey, dude, you said this and then you lied to me. But every single year, he's like, I don't promise people anything. But here we are, every single year, same thing every single year. But he doesn't promise players anything. Drives me insane.
Here's another thing he says, Cody. He says we can't hide you, but yet he tried to hide Wheeler by having his wife go out and hold the jersey.
Oh yeah.
Well, he had Shaedon Sharp, that's for sure.
Yeah. So why? So that's another problem. Why is he doing that? It's only causing people to do it again in their place the next year. Like, there's no consequence for basically not doing what you're supposed to do because he's going to cover for them.
Yeah. No doubt. 502-234-1504. Give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you.
Where you at, Clyde?
Yeah, where you at, Clyde? Maybe he had to do something. Let's see. Clyde did say earlier, y'all talking like there's no light at the end of the tunnel or something.
No,
Well, I can't.
I don't even see
I'm
the
venting. I'm venting from the. Like I said, I'm not ready to talk about next year. I'm still bitter as hell about what transpired this past season.
Yeah, all of us are. Did you guys see this De'Aaron Fox quote, which we're getting a call from Clyde right now, which we'll go ahead and put him on. But let me read this De'Aaron Fox quote before we hear from Clyde. Well, I thought I could find it. If I don't find the exact one. Oh, yeah, here it is. He's talking about the college game. He said, I can't watch a full college game. It's hard. The shot making's not at, obviously, the pro level. The refs are bad. A lot of the coaching is really bad. Can you blame them, guys?
Amen.
Yeah.
But I
he's
can't
right
watch
on
the
point.
NBA even worse. NBA is even worse.
Yeah. No, you're right. But Clyde, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I ain't got no complaints really. Just been dealing with a lot of other issues, a lot of other stuff going on, but I'm doing good though.
Good, man.
I know what De'Aaron Fox said, but honestly, the NBA is unwatchable. Like, I can't watch the NBA. It's so soft. They cry all the time.
They don't dribble.
Yeah.
These kids, listen. These kids that are like in middle school, high school, that are like, going to play college basketball, they watch guys like LeBron and all these other people cry and complain to the refs, flop, and all that BS. And then what do? They watch it, they get the idea of it, and then they do it in their games, and that ruins the game of basketball. It used to never be like this, ever. Back in the day, people were beating the heck out of each other, and of course they would get suspended and all that, but it was more of a physical game. It was a lot more fun to watch because, guys were able to get down and a little physical. You could touch somebody and not really get a foul call because people didn't really complain back then.
Mm-hmm.
They took it as a man, and they just went on to the next play and all of that. It was just more fun basketball. And now it's just the NBA has just been so unwatchable. I don't enjoy it. When I do have it on my TV, I don't pay attention to it half of the time. I'll look up and glance at it there, but I don't really pay attention to it. I don't know what's really going on in the game. I don't know who's really scoring.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I don't care. I'm more of a college basketball fan or a college football fan, and I am an NFL fan. That's just what I like to watch. And I just think guys are soft. They're a bunch of whiny crybabies. They're getting paid all dollars to get injured because they don't put more meat on their bones. All they do is get injured all the time, get out all the time for 10 games, and they're still getting paid for it. Like, they don't put effort to it anymore. That's why the NBA sucks.
Hey, I'm going to my first NBA game this weekend. I'm going to the Pelicans-Clippers game this weekend, by the way, which, speaking of sitting out, I guess I won't get to see Zion because he's not going to be playing.
What about John Wall? John Wall with the Clippers now?
Is he?
Thompson hit that three. I don't know.
Did you say, Cody?
He's not with anybody right now.
I didn't see that three. No. And John Wall's not with anybody. I thought John Wall was
he's just on the bench.
No, he got cut.
Well, dude,
no, he's not with the Clippers anymore.
I haven't followed like the NBA. Like, this is how clueless I am about the NBA. I turned on a game the other night. It was the Mavs. And I see freaking Kyrie Irving in a Mavs jersey. I'm like, when the hell did Kyrie go to the Mavs?
He got traded when they was doing on the trade deadline. Same with Kevin Durant when he went to Phoenix. Like,
Kevin Durant's on the Suns? I didn't.
He played his first
Kevin
game
Durant,
like the other night.
Yeah, he leaves. He goes to a different team every other game.
Damn.
Yes, he's with the Suns. Yep, with Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Yep.
Is LeBron on the Pacers now or something? Everybody's being traded around, man.
I wish that punk would retire, to be honest with you. I hate LeBron. But,
he is. I've liked him less every year. That's for sure.
But yeah, I actually didn't watch the Stoops thing when he got mad.
You should look it up.
That video. I need to actually watch it because I'm very curious to what he said. And you know me, I'm a big Stoops supporter. I've supported the guy since he came here. I love the man. I don't want any other coach but him.
Yeah.
Because the way he's turned our program around the last 5 years has been amazing.
Heck yeah.
The talent that he brings in from the transfer portal now, getting Levis, now this Devin Leary guy. I hope he's as good. I don't know. I don't think he'll be as good as Levis, but I think
he throws a more accurate ball than Levis does, to be honest. Which will probably be good. I mean, accuracy that's an important thing as a quarterback.
Is he as jacked as Will Levis?
I don't think. Have you seen the pictures of Will Levis?
Yes, I saw that yesterday, and I saw it again today. He is ripped.
Dude, he looks like a freaking he looks like a linebacker. It's crazy.
He looks like a bodybuilder. Like he's
legit.
Is he becoming a social media person? Like
is he
Olivia Dunn?
Olivia Dunn? No, he's not Olivia Dunn.
All the pictures of his. Okay.
No, he's not. He might be soon if he keeps working out, but
like what they call them, influencers.
Yeah, an influencer. Yeah,
it basically means sit at home and take pictures of yourself.
Yeah, OnlyFans. But anyway, Clyde, where do you think he's gonna end up?
I think Indianapolis.
I think so too.
Indianapolis.
Part of me wants him to end up at the Seahawks just because I don't know. I could just see Levis on the Seahawks, but I like him on the Colts too.
I know you don't watch the NFL. I know that. Well, they just signed Geno to a big deal, so I don't really see Will Levis wanting to be really a backup for 5 years or whatever.
No, that's true.
I think he wants to go in right away and make an impact, and I feel like the Colts can really do that for him. And he'd be wearing blue and white, so he doesn't even have to switch his color.
That's right. He can just keep on wearing the blue and white there.
And it'll be easy to cheer for the coach because I will cheer for him if he's on Indianapolis. I will cheer for him for sure because, I mean, I'm a big Will Levis fan. I've met the guy too. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Really cool guy. And, C-Rod, he's a really cool dude too, man. C-Rod is a nice person. Everybody can say what they want about C-Rod, but the dude is such a nice person.
Oh, no,
he's such a cool dude.
No, he is. He is a good dude. But, speaking of Stoops, I mean, he came on KSR today. It was just kind of backing up his comments from the other day. He was like, yeah, there's just some guys that, they weren't working as hard as they needed to be. And quite frankly, that pisses me off. I was like, yeah, Stoops, like that's a ball coach right there. I mean, I want Cal to come out in the press conference and say that. I want Cal to come out and say, yeah, we just got a bunch of guys that don't want to play. We got a bunch of guys that are quitting on the team. That pisses me off. Let's go win a championship. Even if that's not how he feels, if he just said that, I at least feel better.
He's too busy.
And that also reminds you of like a Nick Saban or like a Kirby Smart or like I don't know, just guys that have won at the highest level of college football. What Stoops was saying, that reminds you of it, and that shows leadership. And and obviously we know Stoops is definitely the leader of our team, and obviously the coaching staff helps him a lot, and especially our boy Vince Miro. I love that guy. I hope we never get rid of him because if he leaves, I think it'll be the Kenny Payne effect. I think if Vince Miro will leave our football team, I think it will affect the football players the same way that Kenny Payne left when he left to go to the Knicks. I think it will affect that because, I mean, Vince Miro's a guy that can relate to these dudes, and, he gets them pumped, he gets them ready to go, and it makes them excited to play, I feel like these players, these past couple of seasons, since Kenny Payne has been gone, I feel like personally they haven't been as excited to play, because Kenny Payne was more of that guy that would juice him up, get him excited, ready to go. We really haven't had a guy like that. I mean, Ulis is starting to become that. I mean, we know Ulis, he's a guy that wants people to get and go. We know how he is. He's been like that since we've known him. So,
heck yeah.
We still need that, we haven't had that in a while.
No, I couldn't agree more, man. Well, thanks for calling in as always, and we'll see if we can get see if anybody else wants to call in here. But you know, on to the next year. Let's put this season behind us and on to football season.
All righty, appreciate it.
All right, thanks, man.
I have something that's kind of off topic, but he brought up Nick Saban, and it made me think of this, and I think it's the funniest thing ever. So I may have mentioned to you guys during the Georgia championship game. So Nick Saban was he was commentating with some other people, and there was this dude that was talking, and he just kept going on. He's like, "Yeah, I think Georgia's just the future of college football. I mean, look at they're building a dynasty, and Nick Saban is sitting literally right next to this man."
Hello.
And
somebody's on the phone. Somebody's on the phone. Sorry. Cody's gonna finish his rant here. Then we'll get to you. Sorry, I was trying to be cool. I was trying to be smooth, but I couldn't be smooth. But anyway, finish. You can finish, Cody. Yeah.
No, but I was just saying, like, Nick Saban is sitting right next to you, dude. And then I'm thinking next year they're gonna burn everything to the ground and win by 1,000. We're playing them next year. We're gonna lose by 100. I promise you.
We're playing in Lexington.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're playing in Lexington, so we'll only lose by 80. But anyway, we'll get to our caller here. You're on with Talking Kentucky. Who's this?
Hello, Talking Kentucky producers. This is Ben Hammonds.
Ben Hammonds, what's up? What's up, Ben?
What's going on, y'all?
Unfortunately, we don't. We're not rich enough to have screeners yet. So, in fact, somebody called in one time and said, is this screener? Like, Caden answered, and he was like, "Is this a screener?" He goes, "No, this is us." So yeah, this is us. But anyway,
Scott.
What that was Scott? Yeah,
Scott Sully. Yeah,
Scott Sully. Well, what's up, Ben?
Oh, nothing much. Just enjoying you guys talk back and forth about some things like that. I do got a couple things that I want to say. First of all, regarding the players and all that stuff, I'm really hoping that we can get like Livingston to come back at least, and put him on like a 6 or a 7-man rotation. I also think that Wallace would benefit from that too. I'm not sure what his agent is doing right now and all that. I don't know if he's ready for the draft or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't necessarily think he's ready for. I mean, he could probably get drafted, but I don't see him being a first-round pick and just come back next year, and just he could be a major factor for us next year, and I think he can improve his draft stock a lot too. So I don't really get it.
He doesn't care about us. So
these guys never come back, though. These are the ones that never come back, no matter how much they need to.
Yep. And I thought that NIL, I mean, I know we all hate NIL, but I thought that NIL would help this kind of thing. Like people that are on the fence, like come back, you get some guaranteed money next year and you can get better, improve your draft stock. So maybe he still will come back, but from what I'm hearing, it doesn't sound like he will. So.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. I know it can get a little tricky. Now, I believe that like back when I was in high school, I don't think that you could declare for the draft and then come back. So there's that whole factor with it. Also, something that I want to bring up here in regards to like Coach Calipari. When I was just a young lad, I remember when Tubby Smith was head coach, and when we were struggling a little bit there. When we had Rondo and all that, and there was websites that were coming up, and they had a website out there called FireTubbySmith.com. And I have to be honest, I was on that bandwagon at the time because I was frustrated with the team. But looking back on that now, I realized that I know Tubby Smith got his guys from Patino, and he was stocked up when he got his championship. And but like looking back on that now, I realized that Smith really was a legacy for the University of Kentucky basketball program. And sometimes as fans we can get really critical of all aspects of the program, coaching and players. So with that being said, when it comes to Coach Calipari, I know his criticisms. I understand. First of all, he yells a lot. And what is his approach in the locker rooms at halftime? That's a great question. I wish I knew more about that. His playing style, you know, we got away from the dribble drive a little bit this year and all that. And what is he really going to bring to the program here on out? Personally, I think that Calipari, you know, he brought us a championship. I think that he's going to surprise a lot of people. I know that some of his antics and some of his coaching style and stuff like that can get frustrating to watch as a fan. But learning from some of my mistakes when I was a Kentucky fan growing up, I have not lost faith in Calipari. I think that he's going to surprise a lot of people this year with the crowd he's bringing in, and I think that some of the stuff like with, okay, is he trying to just like get a salary to prepare people for the NBA? Does he care about the program? I think he loves the Kentucky basketball program. I think we're going to be tough to beat next year.
I hope so. I hope you're right, man. And I could see it. I could see it going a number of different ways. So, but I'll be optimistic just because, you know, why not? Well, go Cats, man. And if you don't have anything else, thanks for calling in and checking us out. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys as well. That's all I have. Go Cats.
Go Cats. Go Cats, but man.
All right.
See ya. David says Tubby's teams be looking pretty good right about now. Which Caden is David still in the running to win our bracket challenge?
You know, I was looking at this right before, so I was curious. And I feel like there's one person in our entire bracket, I think, that has any teams left. And someone has Scotty P, who is that Scott Salee?
It might be Scottie Pippen.
Well, he's got UConn left. So if UConn wins, Scottie Pippen. If UConn wins against Miami, he's going to blow everyone out of the water because this round's like what hundreds of points. So
well, that's that's one thing we didn't think through is trying to figure out who these people actually are that leave their usernames in there and everything. So that'll be an adventure figuring out who actually wins our challenge if it's like not somebody we know. But I assume that that's Scott. But maybe David wins. I don't know. I've seen crazy. I imagine UConn's going to win the tournament, but who knows, man?
No, I think you and Marsh are tied right now for first. But if UConn wins, then
I'm in first still. Man, it must have been that Fairleigh Dickinson game. I call that Fairleigh Dickinson Purdue upset. Purdue sucks. We'll do sort of a last call for calls here, 502-234-1504. But we'll kind of start to wrap up here. Guys, we missed anything? I just kind of wanted this to be a whole episode where we just kind of bitched about Kentucky basketball, which we needed to do. And so we can put this season behind us and start looking ahead to next season and start looking ahead to the football season too. I guess the next big thing that we're looking forward to is this Toronto trip. When's that going to happen?
No clue.
This
I didn't even know. I knew it was Canada. I didn't even realize it was Toronto.
Yeah. Apparently it's going to be in Toronto. Chin Coleman knows. Clyde says Big Ten is not a great basketball conference, overhyped every year. Agreed. Yes. We should just stop letting Big Ten teams in the tournament. They just lose every time. Oh, and Clyde also said it's in June, this thing. So, this Canada thing. So, can we, but like for that, should we even get excited about that? Like the Bahamas thing, we look great in the Bahamas this year. Then we saw how that went when the season started. Can we even get excited about these things anymore? It doesn't even matter. I mean, it's hard to care, you know?
Yeah, I'm not going to get excited until I start seeing them win some basketball games and earn it, you know? Like fair or not, I feel like they're in a position now where they got to kind of try to earn some fandom back, you know?
Jonathan, what would be a success for you next year? Like, what has to happen for, like, even if we win a championship, are you still going to be thrilled about what all has happened?
If we win a championship, then I'll be really excited about that. But I'm not going to feel like what we have right now is a sustainable solution. Like the team's got some real problems they got to try to figure out. And I mean, I really don't. I think one thing that Cal has proven is that he really doesn't change much. So,
yep.
I just think coaches go through kind of life cycles, just like everything else, and programs do too. And I think we're kind of at one of those places where, we'll get to a low point, and then, hopefully we'll make some kind of change if Cal retires or if he leaves on his own, or whatever, and hopefully we'll get somebody good. But I don't know. I'm just not. I don't want to hear that there's a bunch of mess going on in the locker room, or that the coaches aren't getting along and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's no excuses. I mean, there haven't been any excuses, but there's definitely no excuses next year because you supposedly got the guys you need to win a title. So if you don't win, it's Judgment Day next year. So as they say,
I think they've got to have a winning regular season, and then I think they've got to make an Elite Eight or a Final Four for me to feel like it was a success. And even then, I'll feel disappointed.
So what's that winning regular season? You think that's 20, 27, 26?
I think so.
20. All right. That's fair. Yeah, I think 20. I don't know why, but 27 feels good to me.
I think if they could win the SEC tournament, even if they lost a couple more games, it'd get me going a little bit.
Please not lose to South Carolina.
Yeah, SEC doormat. Well, guys, I think we about covered a lot of SEC Kentucky basketball stuff in there. Hopefully we can put this season behind us. If you had to pick your team to win the title, the Final Four this weekend, let's do women. Let's be inclusive here. Let's do women's and men's. I'll do UConn's gonna win the men's, and South Carolina is gonna win the women's. I don't think that's too much of a shocker. But
who else left in the women's?
Let's see. So it's you mean you haven't been watching the women's?
No.
It's so LSU is one. LSU is going to play Miami. No, not Miami. LSU is going to play Virginia Tech, and then South Carolina is playing Iowa.
Oh, South Carolina, easy win there.
Really? I guess Caitlin Clark's one of the best players in the country, Caden.
Well, South Carolina, women's basketball.
Well, you're right.
Like what UConn used to be in women's basketball.
They're not the doormat. Yeah.
No.
But okay. Well, then who you going with, Jonathan, for the women's?
I'm gonna say LSU.
All right, go Tigers. Well, what about men's?
I'm gonna say UConn.
There
you go, Caden.
Yeah, I'm gonna say UConn. I think they're just hands, but they're just way better than anyone else left.
And you're going South Carolina for the women's?
Yeah.
All right, Cody.
That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, it is a dead giveaway.
Is South Carolina the women's? Are they still undefeated?
Yeah, they haven't lost a game.
Probably.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna pick them.
All right. What about the men's?
UConn.
All right. Shocker. Well, that'll about do it for us for tonight. Cody and Jonathan, thanks for coming on and ranting about Kentucky basketball with us. We always appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So next week, Caden, I think we're gonna start. We're gonna start our kind of stupid summer shows where we talk about whatever mayonnaise and whatever else. We have to think of a first bracket we want to do. I want to do an SEC fight songs bracket at some point. I feel like we need.
Yeah, and whoever wins it, we have to play We have to play the fight
Yeah,
song.
we have to
on
play
air.
the fight song.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like we need a band director on to help us pick the SEC fight songs bracket. I feel like we need to figure that out. But guys, thanks for liking us and following us. So like us on Facebook, and then you can subscribe to us on YouTube as well. We're trying to get those up, and give us a rating on Spotify and Facebook, or wherever. That really helps us if you just go on there and give us a follow and rating and stuff like that. So do all that, and we got to name this episode. Really, we just talked about Kentucky basketball the whole time. Oh yeah, you can support us. So go to this link that Caden's thrown in the comments here, talkingkentucky.wordpress.com/support. You can go get a Talking Kentucky coffee mug or sticker there, and that will help us keep the lights on as a podcast. Yeah, you guys have any suggestions for names for this episode? Episode number 45, Talkin.
Talking.
What do you
Talking
say?
disappointments. I don't know what Jonathan said.
Oh yeah, we are talking disappointment.
I'm not gonna say it again.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
Talking round table.
Did you say talking bitch?
No, I said talking shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like we can't put profanity in the title.
Put an asterisk. Put an asterisk in there. You can.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. You could. Caden, any ideas? Bitch in Kentucky. Ben says bitch in Kentucky.
Talking what now?
Talking question mark.
Talking what's next?
WTF.
Yeah.
Just title it. Where do we go from here? That's how you can title
it. Yeah. Just no talking.
Our first one without a talking. Where do we go from here?
Talking Shaedon.
There we go.
He
couldn't have helped.
NBA. That's the only way you get to watch him.
doesn't that kind of sum it up though? Doesn't that sum all this up? Doesn't Jonathan? I mean, Jonathan came into the episode with the Shaedon Sharp background. I mean, that's how he made his. Yeah, and honestly, I think this is all his fault. So can we just say talking Shaedon?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
People are gonna roll their eyes when they see that title.
Yeah, we'll see how many views this one gets. All right. Well, for Coleman Scott, Caden Holmes, Jonathan Holmes, Cody Peebler, and Shaedon Sharp, this has been Talking Kentucky, and we'll see you next week, next Thursday night, when we'll start our truly off-season shows. So go Cats, go Shaedon.